so many books. Yes. For your pastor's wife. Yeah. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't prep you. We're just going with live. Awesome. That's fun. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That does not sound appealing to me. I'm such a city girl, so, like, the whole animal thing. You shared that on our podcast. We talked about that because you educated me. You taught me about peacocks being, like, protectors. What do they do? See, you taught already got great. Wow. Mhm. Awesome. I think, I mean, I love that story. I definitely think there's value in that, but what I wanna dive into is how you have a passion to serve moms and help them. I've heard you on a ton of things. So and because I didn't read your bio, I mean, like, you've been on Focus on the Family and all kinds of great, organizations talking to women, so we're really, really blessed to get you to come out. But oh, oh, nice. I love that. Mhm. Oh. Oh, no. You know what? This is real life. When I talk to homeschool moms all the time, I tell them 2 things that are super important. 1, they need to know why they're doing it, write down their vision, and then the second thing is find your community, because when you're around people, and that's what the Refresh conference is about. So, it being hard, remembering those tears. I mean, I remember tearful days as well. So what do you have on deck? Have you started preparing what you're gonna share with us? Any teasers? Right. Yep.
He memorized the scriptures. He did all of the things, and the grandmother helped. I'm speaking at a grandparenting summit. It's Legacy Coalition Grandparenting Summit coming up in March in Texas. I laugh because Steve and I used to speak at youth camps. Now I speak at grandma and grandpa camps, but I'll take it. But the value of grandparenting and bringing in grandmothers and grandfathers that can help in your homeschooling journey. Now I know some of you have grandparents that don't get it, and some of your grandparents are saying they're not being socialized, they're not getting the education that I gave you, or they're not. All of those, like, that can be difficult when grandma and grandpa are not on board, and I understand because I know that's a case for a lot of homeschool moms I talk to. And I'll be honest, what I do when I speak at homeschool conventions, at my table where my books are available, I have a big old sign that says, "Ask me anything." And moms do. They come sit with me and they share with me their marriage struggles, their prodigal child struggles, the junior high boy that's pushing mom away. And let's just be honest. And I'll just, if you're there and you're trying to homeschool a junior high boy, I get it. And here's what's happening: there is no coming of man ritual in our culture except don't be a mama's boy. And when
Mm,
they hit 10, 11, 12 years old, you'll know when it's going to happen because they start smelling funky and they start coming down with an attitude. With my son, Brandon, who we were so close. And all of a sudden, it was like I was killing him to ask him to sweep the kitchen floor. I'm like, dude, you've always swept the kitchen floor. What's your struggle? But the job all of a sudden was beneath him. And my son was trying to find his way into manhood. So I always tell moms, when your kids hit that age, you either hand them their manhood or they will fight you for it. You will be the hill to die on
mhm.
with your son. So my husband stepped in and he said, "I'm going to step in, but you can't rescue him." And you're like, "Okay." And then you want to rescue them.
Right. It
Yeah.
is
And my
hard.
husband,
Raising boys to be men, that I can see that
yeah.
is a bestseller for you, or the biggest
Yes.
topic. It's a
And
big
when I
deal.
speak on that topic at homeschool conventions, it's standing
Mhm.
room only, with
Yeah.
moms crying all around the room. Because honestly, when Brandon started pushing me away, I'm like, I never expected that. We were so close. And so Steve stepped in and he said, "You don't work for your mom anymore. You work for me." And Brandon was kind of like, "Good." And all of a sudden, Steve said, "But I'm a hard taskmaster and I want you to dig a ditch between the house and the wood barn with a pick and a shovel. And I want you to dig a ditch because we need to draw power over there." So there was a reason for the ditch digging. It wasn't just
Right.
hard labor. And so Steve said, "You answer to me." So that morning, Steve got up the next morning to go to work and he said, "Don't remind him. If he doesn't do it, don't rescue him. You leave it in his hands. If he doesn't man up and do what I asked him to do last night, then I'll deal with him when I get home. So then that mom in you was like, oh, I hope he does it because I don't want him to get in
Oh,
trouble.
yeah.
But I didn't say anything. And Brandon came down, kind of gave me the silent treatment, ate his breakfast, and then he went outside and started chiseling away at that ground. It was very hard ground. And I was so surprised when Steve came home because he walked in and Brandon said, Dad, come, let me show you how far I got today digging with that pick and shovel. And I was like, he didn't even want to sweep the kitchen for me. And now he's excited to show his
You know
dad.
what? But you're highlighting the truth.
Right.
Homeschooling isn't usually difficult because of the math lessons. It's difficult because of the character lessons.
Oh
But
man, say
that's
that
what
again,
you're
sister.
calling. I
Yes.
know. I love that though. That was a great little anecdote. So, well, we just wanted to give people a teaser to get to know, a little bit about you. I hope that they will. We're going to leave this live up, and we're actually doing a giveaway for a free ticket to the Refresh conference. So if you
Yes.
are watching this even later, you can comment, you can put some questions in there. We'll try to answer all those questions, of course. But for every person that does that, you'll be entered to win. And tomorrow, in 24 hours, we'll announce who our winner is. So you'll get that free ticket to come to the Refresh conference. But just even in this short little conversation, Rhonda, it was sweet to hear your story, your relatableness. Like, yes, there are hard days. There's where you have to bite your tongue or, let your husband help when you maybe have a different plan. I mean, there's so many reasons, but this is why Refresh is in the spring. And it's not really the spring, it's winter. It's when we're all dying, going, I want to
Yeah.
go outside. Although that's not really accurate this year because it's been so lovely. Are you guys
Yeah.
also lovely while you're in California?
Yeah. It's been lovely. Yeah. Well, and by March, it's usually quite pretty where we live. The topics I'll be teaching on, I looked them up because I wanted to make sure I got them right. Finding your worth, your value.
Mhm.
The next one is finding strength in joy, and then women who rock their world. That one's the final one. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna share some great stories, and honestly, you are the generation that is raising the generation that is moving so much closer to the second coming of the King of Kings. And
Mhm.
I like to tell moms, the world is not falling apart. It's falling into place for the second coming of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And he has handpicked us to pour into the next generation truth, a biblical worldview, a love, not just for scripture, but for the God of scripture. Jesus said the priority of life, protos, Mark chapter 12:30, is to love the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's your whole being. And then love your neighbor as yourself. We want to tell our kids, love God with all your strength. And God's like, slow down, fall in love with me for who I am, who I've revealed myself to be as my characters revealed, which is so much a part of this Moms of the Bible book.
Yeah.
And then once you're in love with the Lord, now he loves others through you with
Mhm.
agape love and loving your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So there's just a wonderful calling on moms who are the architects of the next generation, quote from John MacArthur. And God's called us to this and to
Yeah.
what he's called us, this ministry of motherhood. He will equip us. And I cannot wait to be there with you, to encourage you, to hug your neck, and to
Mhm.
cheer you on.
Yay. Well, we're excited. Rhonda, thanks for jumping on this live. And for those of you who watch this later, leave a comment, a question, so you can enter to win a free refresh,
Yes.
and we'll see you there. So,
Yes, and I'll be happy to visit with you there. Pre-order Moms of the Bible. And then if you pre-order 10, I'll join your small group. So for one
that's
time,
very
one
cool.
virtual.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. So
Yeah,
thank you. Well,
thank you.
have a great day, and we'll see you in just over a month.
That's awesome. I will tell them too. Go on my website, noregretswoman.com. There's so many free resources. You'll see my focus on the family interviews. There is a message there that I taught at a Seattle homeschooling conference called Becoming the Mom You Hoped You Would Be. Lots of free resources. I know moms, you're on a budget. You're not working because you're homeschooling your kids. So I try to give away as much as I can possibly give you in resources. So
I love that.
click around on my site. You'll find lots of stuff.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. All
All
right.
right. Thanks. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.